So, I'll be telling you guys stories about what I have done and all like my life stories, and it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be really funny. Yeah, let's get into it. First story I'm gonna tell you guys. This is the time that I got busted with the police, and the police came to my house. This story started when me and my best mate were out back, my backyard, and we're recording this video, right? And then this thing just comes out of nowhere. We're like, what on earth? What is that? And we're like, oh my god. And my friend's like, it's a bear. I'm like, bears don't live in Australia. And they're like, yeah they do, I've seen on Nat Geo Wild. And I'm like, oh okay, maybe it is. But then it does like this, makes some sound, and we're like, crap man, we better run. So we start running, then it starts chasing us, and then it just chucks a tree at us, and we're like, oh man, he's chucking trees at us. Then we didn't know what to do, so we just ran inside like this little hut we found in the middle of the ocean, wood, and then we call the police, and then the police comes over, and they're like, are you sure it's not a bear? And then my friend's like, yeah, bears don't even live in Australia. And we're like, yeah, what can it be? And he's like, are you sure it's not a homeless man? I'm like, that's racist, it's not a homeless man. Homeless man can't chuck trees. But then, after a while, he's kept on going, was it this? And we're like, I think it was a Bigfoot. And he's like, a Sasquatch? I'm like, yeah. But then, the thing that didn't add up was why he was chucking trees at us. So then we went back, the next day to the bush to try and find it and see what it is. And then we found like this hair on the floor, so we pick it up, we go to my laboratory under the house, and we check what DNA it has, and it turns out it was unidentified DNA. So then we go out back and we find a piece of shit on the floor just laying there. It was a really long, I thought it was a snake at first, but then if you look closely, it's just this piece of shit. So we pick that up, we go to my laboratory and see what it is. Except when we go to see, it has no like DNA reference, so we didn't know what it was. That's when it started getting creepy. We go out back and we just see this figure just staring at us. It's all hairy and black and stuff. And then we're like, oh man, what do we do? And my friend's like, call the police. So we run out, we call the police, and then the police come over and they come with traps and like stuff. So we run out back, and then they're like, so where is this Bigfoot of yours? And we're like, it's right here. He comes, and then like this massive tree just comes out of nowhere and knocks the policeman on his head, and then the guy just falls over and his head's like bleeding. I was like, oh, call the SWAT team, we need a SWAT team. So I'm like, oh man, SWAT at my house, this is gonna be so bad. Until I realized that maybe if they catch it we can keep it. So I'm like, if they catch it, can we keep it? And they're like, we're not catching it, we're killing it. We're like, but what's the point in that? We can't study it. And they're like, too bad, too sad. And we're like, fine, call them over if you want. But we had a plan that we're gonna catch and keep it. So then went back inside for another day, started making a trap. We set up a trap, and then one day later, the SWAT team arrives. We quickly run to the back, check if we caught something, but we didn't catch anything. And then the SWAT team comes. They come with guns and stuff, and they're like, hands up, I'm gonna shoot whoever's here. And we're like, don't shoot. We're the people that found it. And then they're like, okay, show me where you last saw it. And we just misled them until they found this thing moving in the bushes, and they're like, is that it? I'm like, I don't know, what if it's our friend? And they're like, too bad, and they start shooting at it, except they miss every shot. But then we saw like this thing run and chuck a tree at the SWAT team. It hit like all the people that are all standing in the line, and the tree just hit all of them. And they're like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And me and my friend are like, okay, we have to catch it. The SWAT team's like, stay away, this is too dangerous, we need to bring in the heavies. And we're like, oh man, not in my backyard. So we just run away from the SWAT team, and we try finding this guy. But once we like far away, we noticed that the guy was actually really big and really scary. So then we decided just to record it and see where it rests. But that's when we noticed there was a full-on family happening there, like all in the trees and stuff. It's like the Ewoks from Star Wars, but with Bigfoots. It was scary as hell. So we just record that stuff and just run and run. We show the SWAT team, but we're like, you're never gonna find them. They're like, okay, we need helicopters. So we didn't know there's helicopters in the air, right? So we quickly run under the house, whip out my missile launcher, and we missile the helicopter, and the helicopter falls. But then all we can hear is like a Bigfoot sound, and then the people going, oh, it's attacking me. And then we're like, haha. So the next few weeks we just bought like bacon and stuff outside, and we decided to befriend Bigfoot until the SWAT team come and be like, you have injured us all. Your friend, you have to put your friend, turn your friend in. And we're like, no way, Jose. And then they're like, who's your friend's name? We're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they decided to search our backyard one more time. So I sent an email to the Yetis, and they're like, okay, we gotta hide. And then they start hiding, and then once the SWAT team leaves our house, it was super cool, because like the Yetis were like best friends with us, until there was a super detective spy. He saw what was happening, and he's like, I'm not gonna stand for this. And then just like basically just demolishes the whole species. But luckily we have a male and female hidden in the cave, so then they're gonna find that. But that's the last time I saw a Bigfoot. That's a good story. If you want to hear more stories, let's try getting 10 likes. Subscribe.